This is the H500P, a beautiful new member of Cooler Master's high airflow family with dual 200mm fans in the front for cooling. But that got us thinking, if 200mm is good for cooling, then 300mm must be better. So we got ourselves one of these. Then we decided that was still too lame, so we got a second one. This video is sponsored by Cooler Master! Let's get to know the H500P a little better by building a sexy PC in it. Step one is to remove basically everything so it won't get in your way during the rest of the assembly process. We're gonna be installing 3 Cooler Master 140mm RGB fans at the top of the case, so pre-tap the screw holes on the table and then install them. Our Cooler Master MasterWatt 750 PSU will be powering up an Asus Prime X299 Deluxe with a Core i9 7900X 10 core under a Master Air MA610P heatsink. For RAM, we used special edition Dominator Platinums. These heatsinks on top could come in handy later. And for our SSD, a Kingston KC400 1TB. Make sure to pull through the SATA cables and power for the video card now before reinstalling the power supply cover, since getting them through once the cover is in is much more difficult. For our GPU, we went with a GTX 1080 Ti Founders Edition in the showcase side-mounted position that uses Cooler Master's PCIe riser kit available separately. Finally, we just had to add some lighting, clean up the cabling a little bit with this handy panel, that's professional, and take some baseline readings so we'll be able to quantify how our acoustic and thermal performance characteristics change once we complete our modifications. So now it's time for what you guys have all been waiting for. Big ass fans. Oh boy. Meet the Copus 12-inch blower fan. A 1 horsepower monster that can move a staggering 2,000 cubic feet per minute of air. So our 2 of them are rated at an equivalent of 81 Masterfan Pro 12 airflows, 24 Blowimatrons, and you guys know that meme PC made entirely of fans? Well, it's about 2.5 times even that. Now, obviously you can't just screw these into your case, so cover your eyes, professional carpenters out there, because we're about to make ourselves a badass duct. First, we removed basically everything from our build. Then, we got to work measuring and creating plans for our custom shroud. We used this heavy MDF for the project, mostly because we already had a bunch of it lying around in the warehouse, and started with a U-shaped piece that would sit up against the front of the tower. We asked carpenter extraordinaire George about the best way to cut it, and after a story about someone losing all of their fingers on a table saw, we decided that the best way was for him to just do it for us. For the fan holes, we performed some more basic cuts. Then, we traced out where the fans would go, and after drilling a starting hole, jigsawed them out. The rest was cut out by Alex using the circular saw, which became a lot easier once he actually had the circular saw. I borrowed it on the weekend, and I forgot to bring it back. I already apologized. Anyway, after a test fit, it was time for assembly. We used lots of wood glue and some pre-drilled screw holes. The finishing touch was a liberal application of wood filler, then there was some sanding required, and we ended up using this aggro sander because we couldn't find the regular sander, followed by priming and painting, before heading to the conference room, which is here, screwing the Cooler Master H500P and the duct together, sealing up the edges with tuck tape, and preparing to boot it up. So you managed to make the whole shroud, like, it's fairly well crafted actually, out of MDF. Did you even like sand all this and everything?
Yep.
And then you tuck taped it on?
Yeah.
Have you fired it up in here?
No, I haven't. So I just realized something really dumb. We no longer have front I/O, and I don't have a power button, so one moment.
Was this your idea or mine?
I believe this was mine. It was like in my resume, like you asked for a bunch of ideas and one of them was this. Yeah, I'm curious why the RGB isn't on. That must have got disconnected at some point.
How much pressure is there gonna be in here? Like, are we gonna end up overspinning like our graphics card fan? What about the power supply?
These are all great questions that I want to know the answer to as well.
Are we even gonna be able to have both of these on one breaker? Like how?
I think so.
Okay, you ready?
Yep. Okay, should we like tape that down? That's actually really hard to hold.
I know! I noticed! Okay, is that gonna hold?
Yep.
Okay.
What? Windows is updating!
Wait, look at it! I feel like freaking Kate Winslet on the front of the Titanic! We have to sing the song. On and on! Now this, my friends, is what positive air pressure looks like.
So it looks like on the CPU, we're getting like 55 degrees, and before it was 74.
I don't know if that was my most responsible moment.
Okay, so we're looking at about basically 90 decibels right now.
How do I look?
Pretty good.
Oh my God, this is just dumb. And it's gone.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah! It's working! It's working! We've dropped 10 degrees in like less than 20 seconds.
That's insane.
That's incredible! Wow, that's quieter. This thing is a beast, actually, to an extent that even we didn't expect. The GPU results in particular were really impressive. So all of the internal temperatures are exactly ambient as measured by our equipment, though even with fancy scientific tools, I doubt that would change much since the fans were moving literally the entire case's internal volume every 0.037 seconds. Insane. So thanks Cooler Master for sponsoring this madness. You guys can check out the H500P at the link in the video description, although 1 horsepower fans not included. And thanks to you guys for watching. If this video sucked, or blew, you guys know what to do. But if it was awesome, get subscribed, hit that like button, or check out the link to where to buy the stuff we featured at Amazon in the video description. Also linked down there is our merch store, which has cool shirts like this one, and our community forum, which you should totally join.